Good morning. It's 9 o'clock a.m. on November 7th, 2022. I'm going to grab a audio confirmation here. I'm going to grab a audio confirmation. Yeah, there we go. Hello, Ken, Tony, Darren, Rick, and Silden Ball. Today, topic, a Windows Daily number 90, tryhackme.com number 5, my experience. On Friday, I purchased their subscription. I guess signed up for their subscription. So now I'm paying for tryhackme.com. And it didn't occur to me while I was streaming on Friday to mention this, but now I got to be concerned about copyright. So I'm not going to be able to, I'm not going to show as much detail or go through their system as publicly as I have been for their free content. But I do want to still be relaying things to the audience from tryhackme.com. So I'm going to kind of feel my way through that. And that's not going to be a majority of Windows Daily episodes anyway. Now, before I go to that, I'm going to take a little aside here and let you know that I discovered a different way to make use of or repurpose old PCs, old monitors, because I have a bunch of them upstairs, or had a bunch of them upstairs that were waiting to be recycled. Well, they're still upstairs, they're just in a different location. So I'm going to show you what I did with them with a couple of photos. Here we go. Here's how I have repurposed. There's a tower computer there. There's an HP all-in-one there. This one over here is a laptop. Over there's a laptop. There's another one back here where you can't see, and a laptop and a laptop. And then on the other side of my balcony, there's a couple of microcomputers and another HP all-in-one and a laptop, and there's a regular monitor and a paint can. So what's going on here is this is my balcony off of my master bedroom, and it's got some weak spots where I'm afraid that it's leaking into the wood. And I had a contractor here a week ago to begin figuring out how to repair this. So that's my use of computers that are no longer serviceable. We'll see how that goes. Let's come over to tryhackme.com and see what I can do with this. Careers in cyber, and I intend to cover that today, but before doing that, I want to just take a little detour. I showed on a previous episode this profile icon up here and didn't understand what was going on because I was confused and didn't know what I was doing. But if I come here to profile, this is where I can get a confirmation that it is actually me, and I could update the photo here for the profile. I thought it was odd that it didn't have any identification here that I was actually logged in. And then I also want to show real quickly this tab talks about learning paths, and then modules and networks. So quite a bit of stuff that they have going on in here. And this is on the Learn tab of this Learn tab, I guess. And then Practice. There's things here for doing practices. There's a lot of stuff in here. And even on the Practice tab, there's Series and there's General. So it drills down even more. Somebody made a comment recently about this site seems pretty basic. Well, let me point out that I said that I was a beginner. I told them intentionally that I wanted to start from the very beginning. A very good place to start. Oh my gosh, another old man's cultural reference. So here's just stuff that's in there. I'm not going to go read over them. And they have this compete section, and this is where their game King of the Hill is. I took a quick peek at that, and it's let's see, was it, yeah, to prevent cheating, points, games, whole bunch of stuff in here. And basically what it is for their game, yeah, here, King of the Hill is a competitive hacking game where you play against 10 other hackers to compromise a machine and then patch its vulnerabilities to stop the other players from also gaining access. The longer you maintain access, the more points you get. That kind of sounds fun, and that appeals to me. Now let's go ahead and take a look at cyber careers in cyber. If I click on resume learning, this is where it was showing us the different careers. Now, rather than read through this stuff or even expand them and display them, I'm not going to do that because out of respect for their copyright. I figured the way we do this, I'm going to have some interaction with the chat room, is I'm going to try describing what I think each of these are without ever having read through them. And you in the chat, you could pick any one of these or take what I'm saying and add to it or disagree or say some other things. So put some stuff in chat about what you think these careers are, and I'm going to try to talk through them. I haven't even really formulated in my mind or read over what they are. So I'll get a high level read over first. Now I'm going to take a quick look at chat and break chat, pop out chat so that I can get to it easily, because my intention is to come back here and look at this. And Ken, hacking version of Fortnite. People do hack Fortnite. It's got glitches in it, and people are always trying to discover new glitches. So people are hacking Fortnite. Security analysis. I'm just going to read through these. Security engineer, incident responder, digital forensics examiner, malware analyst, penetration tester, and red teamer. Okay, so they didn't even have blue teamer as one of these. Blue teamer might be included in one of these. Let's see. So yeah, I just got a notification of Ken Stout going live in 30 minutes. Security analyst. So what do I think security analyst is? I'm going to say that's for looking at the security of a particular company or network system. No, scratch that. I think security analyst would be a higher level that's looking over the entire security environment that's going on worldwide and analyzing that and looking at trends and speculating what might happen next and what do we need to really start beefing up and doing better at. Is that what security analyst is? If you got other ideas, other comments on that, go ahead and put it in the chat. Pop over here real quick. Blue team incident responder. No, I disagree with that. I don't think that blue team is incident responders. So we'll get to that in a minute. King of the Hill game. Ken's noticing that. All right, coming back. Security engineer. What I think security engineer is, that would be somebody who's going to design the security infrastructure for a particular network. So a business might come to you as a security engineer and say, how should we set this up to secure our networks? I'm gonna say that's a pretty reasonable description. Now, what I'm gonna do is, after the live stream is over, sometime after, it might be tomorrow, I don't know when it's gonna be, I'm gonna go back and look through these and see how well I did on what I think these careers entail. Incident responder. Oh, I see. He was saying that maybe incident responder is blue teamer. I don't think so. Because blue teamer, I'll go ahead and describe it because it's not in here. Blue teamer as opposed to red teamer. Blue teamer would be the security team within a company, within a company's IT department. They have a security department. And then if they're large enough, they'll have people within the security department within the IT security department that are on the red team and some that are on the blue team. The blue team is defending the network against the attackers, against the pretend attackers, because that's the red team members who are trying to hack into their own company computers and servers and data stores. So the red teamer are pretending to be evildoer hackers trying to break in and gain access, of course, without using their company login credentials. Blue team would be the team that's defending against that, trying to spot the attacks that are coming in. That's my understanding of blue team and red team. So that'd be different than incident responder. Incident responder is a company has a breach. They've become aware that somebody has infiltrated their computers, has control of their computers, or they have they have grabbed data. They have stolen data from the company's servers. Not exfiltrate, something. They've taken data out from the company, or they have encrypted files in their system. There's been some kind of attack, a real attack on the company's IT infrastructure, and an incident responder is a person that is called to come and fix it, come and clean the infection, figure out what happened. And my understanding is usually the company is shut down, all the computers are not usable by the staff until the incident responder gives them a clean bill of health and saying you can go ahead. So they got to figure out what happened, what was stolen, what computers are compromised, then fix them and get them back up and running. Digital forensics examiner would be somebody who is, for instance, taking a hard drive or a forensic image of a hard drive and examining that and trying to figure out what happened. Or they might be taking memory dumps of computers to figure out what's going on, what is the infection that's happening. Now that sounds to me like a little more drilled down specific from the incident responder. The incident responder in any particular incident, in any particular work environment, might be the same person that's doing the digital forensics. Digital forensics, in my perception, would be examining the evidence that's in a computer system to figure out what happened. That would be very close in hand to the malware analyst. The malware analyst, in my perception, would be taking a known piece of malware. Let's say if you know where the infection's coming from, or you have an infection carrier, a file that has the virus or the malware, and you intentionally infect probably a virtual computer, maybe a real physical computer, you have it isolated, and the malware analyst is trying to figure out what it does, how it operates, how it is gaining access and control of the system. Switch back to chat, see if we got some things coming in. Lawn Dog, my understanding, blue team just lets anyone come into their environment. And of course, the implications of the red team are that they are some kind of mischievous, untrustworthy attackers. Okay, not sure about the blue team letting anyone come into the environment. I think they're the defenders to trying to prevent people from coming in. Let's see, have people saying hello? I've got something on my mind, just don't know what to bother with you. Lawn Dog, why don't you send me an email about that? And no, unfortunately, it's something I would probably, send me an email on that. Okay, so I'm caught up there. Then next is penetration tester. Got my Zoom homies cup here. Penetration tester. I'm going to have to hire penetration testers. I'm not sure if it's every year or every other year for one of my clients at this point. I suspect that'll be the case with more of my clients as we go further down this road of security. where I have several clients who have cybersecurity insurance. And every year we have to fill out these forms, and they get more and more demanding what they want us to check boxes for on these forms. So one of my clients is in the is on the level now where we have to do penetration testing, where a penetration tester is hired by my client. I might actually be the person that is soliciting a penetration tester. In fact, likely I will be. And I have to be using somebody that I don't have a close connection to or a close relationship with. It's supposed to be someone that's, a disinterested third party. So they don't have any knowledge of the history of my client. And I give them some basic information about my client. Going to have to give them a domain name, the name of the company. And then the penetration tester is going to start, as my understanding, they'll start with doing InfoSec. No, that's not probably right name. There's another thing about where they're gathering what information they can publicly. So they'll go look on Google Maps. They'll get an idea of the physical layout. They'll go check out their website. They'll see what's available through the website. They'll do some social media searches to see if they can find some names of people within the company. They'll start with that, and then they'll start using their hacker tools to see what ports are open on that domain name, and checking to see what vulnerabilities that they can find. And their goal, their objective, is to actually get into my client's network, where they can actually access files or take over a computer or gain admin level access or even user level access. So they're trying to gain access like a hacker would do, except they've been hired to do it. And we give them a scope to operate within. You can do this, you can try this, you can try to do this, but we don't want you to do these other things that are on the left hand. Don't do these things, because we don't want them actually modifying a web page on the website, for instance. We don't want them actually accessing account information and moving money around from one account to another. No. That's off limits. We don't want you actually encrypting files. All they got to do is get to the point where they can show that, for instance, they might create a file in a certain folder, or they might take a copy of an innocuous file. Maybe we've told them that we have placed a certain file name somewhere in the system. You go get it. And that's going to show us that we have holes there. Then a penetration tester gives a report of what they found, so that the IT staff, guess who, goes and plugs those holes. Then we get down to the red teamer that I already talked about, my perception of what a red team is. And then they've got a quiz. So I'm not going to display the quiz either, because that would fall under the copyright. I don't think showing these career names would be copyright infringement. I am showing their website of these careers. Now, I think maybe on the free level I could go see these, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm going to really focus my presentation of tryhackme.com as a way of promoting their website and trying not to reveal their actual content in a way that would upset them. And hopefully, if they ever discover me, that they'll say, "Hey, thanks. That was a good thing." Sam Van Thiel says, "I've dealt with Digital Forensics Examiner." Oh, okay. They checked if there was any confidential data for legal reasons. Digital Forensics. They checked if there was any confidential data exfiltrated or leaked, or if there's any confidential data, on a workstation? Not quite sure what you mean there. You don't have to go detail that more, but it's interesting that you have dealt with a digital forensics examiner. Lawn Dog, well, Doug, when you use the term blue team and red team, my mind thinks a little more broader and a little more worldly concerning United States. Okay, and that's about all we've got there. And Reggie area, Fort Oh, Fortnite. I think maybe that's somebody who came to this, to my production today by virtue of Dennis Thompson DDT 2005, sending his viewers over or doing an auto redirect. Speaking of auto redirect, I do have auto redirect set for Ken Stout's live show that's coming up in a little bit. I think it's live. I didn't even look to see if it's a live show or if it's a premiere. I think that about covers it, since there's no other conversation going on in chat regarding this. My intention is to go through each of these items, but my description there is just what I've become aware of through my normal activities in the IT world. I didn't go study up on any of these, but I think I'm fairly well in line. I guess a lot of where I get it from is where I got that information from is podcasts and YouTube videos that talk about these topics. Darknet Diaries is a very entertaining one. I'm going to go show their website. Let's see, I've got them on a shortcut here somewhere. Darknet Diaries, tech resources. It's kind of difficult to find them every time I try to go get them. I got a lot of stuff marked there, so let's just go search. Darknet Diaries. And yeah, so Google search will get you to them. They have all these episodes, and I'm probably maybe a couple behind. Episodes 126. They're at Re-Evil. I think I have listened to that one. Come all the way down here to the bottom. You get to these episodes are not. Oh, I see. They're kind of categorized by. Oh, there's incident response. So these are all stories about incident response. So that's where I have my awareness of incident response. Now, this podcast is free and is very entertaining. Interviews with black hat hackers. So he does actually interview. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not showing you that. Am I? No, I wasn't. All right, go back. If you do a Google search, darknetdiaries.com, or just go to the website, and this got me right into this part of their website because I've been there before. You can click on episodes here and go through them in order. So this is in reverse order here. And I think I found a way somewhere to change that order so you get them in the opposite order. You can get them also on podcast vehicles. Here to go, start at the beginning. So click on start at the beginning at the bottom. So then it gets to episode 1 and you can go through them one at a time. That's 2017, but it's very well worth listening to. They're old episodes, very well worth listening to. So I got to there just by describing where I came up with my awareness of those career categories that we're showing here. And I think I'm reasonably on target with them. We'll take a look at what's going on in chat. Blue team builds the door, red team breaks down the door. Okay. Yeah, I know. That's a good humorous way to say it. The blue team sets up the network environment, puts in the security implementations. If they miss something, that's how they're building the door. If they miss something. Good morning, Greg. Bobby can't get into my router. I reset the password. Bobby, if you'd like to send me an email, I'd love to do a remote session with you and do it during a live stream or post it later as a video. Or you can get help from people in the chat room. That's fine if that's the way you want to go about it. They will help you there. All right, that covers all of that. I think I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. We're at 24 minutes, almost 25 minutes. Ken Stout, get ready because they're about to come at you. there something here I can give him a few more moments with? Other. What do they give us on other? Resources, buy vouchers, messages, develop rooms. Oh yeah, I saw that. Let me come over here to this my rooms. I can actually create rooms in the system. I got no idea what I would do, and other people could have room codes. I'm wondering if people run their own games, maybe. Join and search rooms on the Hacktivities page to start hacking. Yeah, I think this thing's going to be fun. Hands-on hacking, there's the learning paths. Now, I suspect after I get through this dashboard section that I'm on now, see, this is the last of these three, right? I would suspect after I've gone through these cyber careers and done the quiz, that then they're going to ask, okay, what career path what learning path do you want to use? Because I think here they've covered everything in broad, big scale terms. And so then I need to select a direction to go. So what am I interested in? I'm interested in penetration tester only to the extent of knowing what the penetration testers are likely going to be trying to do, or that I can use their techniques to try to break in to my clients' systems so that I can figure out what I need to do to firm up their security. Another one for that would be security engineer, for strengthening the security of my clients' networks. I don't think security and analyst, that if I'm right about that, that's really the broad worldwide view, big picture analysis of the security environment in IT. So I think it's going to be security engineer or penetration tester that I would go for first. I'm very interested in malware analyst. I'm very interested in digital forensics examiner, but those two aren't quite as important to my clients. I need to beef up my capabilities with my clients. So I think that's going to be penetration tester or security engineer. A last look at chat, then we're going to sign off. Bobby says, Doug, I called Spectrum. They told me a tech have to come. It's going to cost $40. Oh, that's interesting. Would like to know more about that. Love for you to come into a Zoom session and tell us more about that. You can send me an email. I'm going to display my email address in a little bit here. Bobby, I need to go turn you blue so that we know that you're somebody who has been interacting in a productive fashion with us. I make people moderators on my channel not to use a heavy hammer on others in the chat room. I'd rather you didn't do that. There's a small number of people that I think could be going after that if they know and understand my philosophy on who I'm interested in moderating or clamping down on them. It's been run. Oh, he says it's been running. Misunderstood you when I said about. Oh, okay. So it sounds like he's got a show already running. So I'm going to go drop out real quick here. Here's the email address. If you want to send me an email, Bobby in particular, and I'm going to go ahead and say, I hope that was useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.